game?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's kind of obvious now with Ronnie being hurt. Because I don't really know if Ronnie's going to be able to play Tuesday or not. That's what he's shooting for, and obviously that's what we're shooting for as well. So if he can, I don't think he would be 110%. So I'll probably go with Jeremy.
It's not going to be Byron for sure, right?
No, it won't be Byron. No, it'll be Jeremy.
So he's not joined on a 10-day?
No.
Byron, last year's team was pretty easy to find flaws with. You were an analyst at the time, you know that. But how big of a role was injuries in that? I mean, Byron and Nash maybe notwithstanding, but just the consistent.
You mean me and Nash notwithstanding? You said Byron.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We didn't get an official report on you, Brian. And Nash, how about that?
Okay.
Notwithstanding kind of the nagging, incessant flow of injuries, how big of a role did that play in last year's?
Well, I think anytime you have major injuries, it's going to play a role. There's no doubt about that. And when you have those two guys, especially, you're talking about two Hall of Famers, it's going to play a role. So, Steve being out, and, our situation as it stands today, Nick out, Steve out, for sure, and then we don't know, probably Wayne is out as well, for Tuesday. Ronnie we don't know about, so we got some question marks with a few other people. But injuries always play a part of it, so, all you can do is make sure that the other guys are ready and prepared to go and, do the best you can.
What can this team do to be in the position to be able to absorb that, at least just to open the season, just giving the guys out?
Well, it obviously cuts down the rotation. Because if the case that Ronnie can't play, then Jordan Clarkson obviously becomes the backup point guard too. And then the rotation is probably a three-man rotation with those, with Jordan and Jeremy and Kobe. The bigs are pretty much the same as well, depending on who can go and who can't go. We know Ryan probably won't be able to go, but Jordan Hill, if he can't go, then it's Robert, Ed, and Booz, along with Julius. So, it just shortens all the rotations basically.
How's obvious? Was he able to do anything?
Just today he was able to shoot. We'll be able to run tomorrow, so we'll see how he looks.
Maybe Tuesday for him?
You know what? I would say it's questionable, for Tuesday because even if he runs tomorrow and he looks good and everything, he still is 3 weeks behind as far as offense is concerned, as far as conditioning is concerned. I wouldn't want to just throw him out there. I would want to see him go through a couple of full practices. Go through some 5-on-0 stuff as well, so he gets a little bit more familiar with the offense. So I would say Tuesday, even if he's healthy and he's good enough to go, that he probably won't play.
Do you know what came of his second game last week?
I don't. This is the first time I saw him was today. I asked him how he felt. He said he feels really good, much better than he did when he before he left. And my instructions were from Gary that no running or anything today. We'll let him loose tomorrow. So we'll see how he does.
What's your expectation with Jeremy this season?
Lynn,
Yeah.
I expect him to play well. Obviously the ball's going to be in his hands now. Expect him to run the offense, take care of the ball, and do the things that Jeremy Lin is capable of doing, knocking down shots, getting into the paint. Kind of being the catalyst and the leader of the team, on the offensive end, getting everybody where they need to be. So no different than I expect from any of my point guards.
Right. With him being out at least for a few games in training camp, were there any particular things that you weren't able to see because of that?
Well, him being out with the ankles, you wasn't able to see the explosiveness or the ability to get by people. And I thought the last couple of games I was able to see that again. So I thought that showed me that, from an injury standpoint, that he's fine. It was just a matter of, just getting familiar again with the offense and with the guys that he was playing with.
Kobe's still healthy, right? Just confirming.
Yeah, Kobe's good.
Okay.
Kobe's good.
When you and Kobe talked about the minutes that you kind of want him to play throughout the season, do you guys also talk about like a minute limit for a game? Like because right now you might have 3 guys to play on Tuesday, so do you guys talk about the possibility of like going higher for like specific situations?
No, no. We got a certain number in mind. We're gonna stick to that certain number as much as possible. Like I said earlier. In training camp and even before we got started, I'm not going to sacrifice a game for his health. We feel the number that we've all come to an agreement is a number that is obtainable and a number that he can play at a very high level, but it's also a number that keeps him fresh in March and April. So, we're going to stick to that to the best of my ability. And normally when we have numbers in mind like that, I do a real good job of sticking to that. So I plan on doing that.
I'm sorry, it's 35?
It was 30, between 30 and 40,
You don't forget.
like an elephant.
Will it be evident after the first game what that number is?
Yeah, because it'd be between 30 and 40.
It's nice that you can have some wiggle room and flexibility.
Yeah,
right?
you know, you got to keep. I can't say between 30 and 35 because then if I go 35 and a half, you guys will be
Right,
talking
right.
about, hey, you said 35. So between 30 and 40, I think is a very, very nice margin to have as far as his playing time is concerned.
If Ronnie carries on too, so you're going to have to rely on Jordan. How comfortable do you feel with him running the offense?
I feel comfortable with Jordan, you know, being the backup point guard. To me, right now, it's not his natural position. I think he's more of a combo guard, can play more of the two more than the one. But, you know, it's a position that he's going to learn. He's going to get comfortable with it. So it's just making sure that he's aware of what we need to run every time down the floor. With Jeremy, I give him the freedom, just like I did with Ronnie, to call the plays. Every now and then they look over at me and I'll tell them, you call it, run what you want. And then there's other times, obviously, where I call plays. With Jordan, I would probably call 90% of the plays, you know, while he's in the game, just to keep him under control and to keep the guys under control as well. So that's the only thing with him, because he's young and he's inexperienced. I want to make sure that he runs the right things at the right time.
How important is it to come out and win the home opener?
It's always important. You know, I think, you know, Tuesday game against Houston, you're going to have a team that's, you know, they got championship aspirations and, you know, they're going to be geeked up. You know, Dwight Howard wants to come back here and play well. So, you know, I think Jeremy wants to play well. I think all our guys want to play well. It's the home opener. So we want to go out here and, you know, play well for our fans and show them that, you know, all the work that we've done during the training camp, you know, like I said, it's going to pay off. It's going to take time. But, you know, our guys, I think, have gotten much better from game one or day one in training camp to this particular point.